Hey everyone, Connie here, and welcome to my blind reaction to Cocaine Bear. This is a donation reward for Sweet Venom, and let's be honest, you know what this is. You're coming into this, it's like you've probably already seen it. If you haven't, you've heard of it. It's like it's a meme at this point. There's not really anything else to say, so when the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades black and fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will contain spoilers to the movie. So, that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 2, 1, now. I couldn't find anything about, why the song Cocaine by Eric Clapton wasn't used in the movie. It just feels like a huge missed opportunity. Even if it's just during the credits, it's like, it's obviously the perfect song. It's just the perfect song for this movie. But either way, this movie was exactly what I expected it to be. Like, the pre-thoughts that were just like basically me telling you, you know what this is, let's just get into it. It's like, yeah, that was pretty accurate. This is exactly what you expect it to be. It's absolutely dumb. It's stupid as fuck. But it's actually, it's very entertaining because of that. Like, this movie knows what it's trying to be. It's not trying to be the best written or directed movie, or even best acted. Like, obviously, this was not Ray Liotta's best role. Nowhere near. Ray Liotta, I actually want to check that, by the way. Ray Liotta has done a lot of great movies, and this would not be his top film. But at the same time, doing films that are just fun and, like, stupid is sometimes, like, just sounds like a good idea. Not everything has to be Goodfellas, you know? Like, I'm sure he had a blast doing this. Let me see here. Yeah, he died just last year, too. This month. Last year, this month as well. Okay, so this is not his last movie, but it is actually the first one released after his death. He has 4 more movies coming out that are being released after his death. Fool's Paradise, The Substance, Dangerous Waters, and Clash. Fool's Paradise is coming out sometime this year, and the other 3 are just in post-production right now. So he does have some more movies coming out. No series or anything like that, though. Just like 4 more movies that have still yet to come out. Okay. I was curious about that. And let me check here real quick. The film received mixed reviews. I'm wondering exactly why. Like, what's the specific reasons? Because if people are saying, like, oh, it's just stupid, it's like, yeah, that's literally the point. Like, what? That is literally the point. But, yeah, okay, so before we get into that, let's talk about the actual story. So, obviously, this movie is very, very loosely inspired by real-life events. In December of 1985, an American black bear died after ingesting a duffel bag full of cocaine. And it was dropped out of an airplane, like as we see in this movie. It was a drug thing with a narcotics officer and everything. Dropped it out, and he did also jump out himself, but his parachute failed and he died. All of that actually happened. The bear, who died sometime after consuming the cocaine, was found 3 months later in northern Georgia alongside 40 opened plastic containers of cocaine. And the bear is currently on display at the Kentucky for Kentucky Fun Mall in Lexington, which named the creature Cocaine Bear in 2015. So it's like it was stuffed and put on display in Kentucky. So obviously a lot of like the actions the bear takes and all the violence and stuff is just added in. It's all just for fun and for shits and giggles. In real life, it's like there's not really any, I guess, evidence that the bear actually went on a rampage like this. All we know is it died and was found 3 months after its death. Yeah, as it says here, the film's plot differs from real-life events in a number of ways. Notably, the real-life cocaine bear is not known to have killed anyone after consuming drugs. And what transpired in the time leading up to its death is completely unknown. In an interview with Variety's Adam B. Very, Banks stated that this movie could be seen as that bear's revenge story. Interesting. But let's actually see what the reception to this was. So, as always, take Rotten Tomatoes with a grain of salt, because it's Rotten Tomatoes. But they gave it a 67% out of 303 critic reviews. Of 67% of those 303 reviews are positive. With an average rating of 6.1 out of 10. The consensus reads, despite Cocaine Bear's half-baked plot and uneven acting, the titular fur fiend's scene-snorting frenzy will give B-movie enthusiasts a contact high. See, the problem is, like, the half-baked plot and the uneven acting, again, is the point. It's meant to be stupid. This movie is not trying to be smart or well-acted or well-written. It's literally meant to be stupid. That is very clearly the point. Richard Roper of the Chicago Sun-Times gave it 3 out of 4 stars, describing it as a wildly entertaining and darkly hilarious B-movie bloodfest. I would describe it that way, yeah. And genuinely well-crafted horror. I don't consider it horror. Like, almost at all. I would consider it maybe thriller, but not horror. In the same star review, Real Views reviewer James Baradinelli, sorry if I mispronounced that, called it 95 minutes of escapist fare. Although he criticized the number of characters, subplots, and pacing, he concluded that the film was silly but not stupid. Disagree. It was absolutely stupid, and it was meant to be. It was meant to be stupid. It was meant to be absolutely ridiculously stupid. You weren't supposed to get invested in any of the characters or any of the subplots or anything. That was the point. They were just throwing shit in to just give something to this movie. Because in real life, you couldn't really fill out a movie with as little information as we had on the subject. So they were just throwing shit in to make it a movie, and it's like, let's just make this as stupid and ridiculous as possible. Christy Lemire of RogerEbert.com criticized the characters, but her review was also overall positive. She noted that the film was not that profound, but it is an incredible blast, especially if you have the benefit of seeing director Elizabeth Banks' insanely violent comedy thriller with a packed crowd. I think that's the biggest issue, and I think that's the biggest issue with most reviewers and critics in general, especially when it comes to movies, but for any medium. Movies, shows, video games. It's like a lot of reviewers and critics tend to review and look at everything as the same. It's like, oh, let's take this movie and I'm going to look at it and review it and determine my thoughts on it the same as I would this other movie. I'm going to think about Cocaine Bear in the same way that I think about Goodfellas. And it's like, no, you're not supposed to do that. And again, this is a problem with everything. Anime reviewers do it too. Oh, anime reviewers do it too. They look at a satire anime and try to judge it as if it's in the same ballpark as a serious anime. And it's like, you're not supposed to judge them the same. Do you not understand what satire is? Movie reviewers do it. People who review live action shows, people who review video games. You have to look at the context of the piece of media. Something like Cocaine Bear cannot be compared to something like The Godfather. They're two exceptionally different types of films and need to be judged and rated and thought of separately. Don't look at them, don't watch them expecting to judge it the same way. Don't watch Cocaine Bear looking for writing that's going to equate to something like The Godfather. Or even if you don't want to go with something as big as The Godfather, just anything like that. Cocaine Bear is clearly a comedy first and foremost. And on top of that, it's a purposefully stupid joke of a movie. In that regard, it would be more apt to compare it to something like American Pie, which is literally making fun of the tropes of teen movies and stuff. Comparing it to American Pie would be a lot more apt, a lot more fitting. Comparing it to something like this, or to something like The Godfather, even not, again, Godfather is going very heavy with things, but comparing it to like a serious drama or something, or even a more serious or a big name comedy movie, it just doesn't work because it's not the same kind of thing. It'd be like if you took, like for anime, if you tried to compare Panty and Stocking to something like Cowboy Bebop. It's like they are so drastically different. And not just in terms of their genre, but in terms of how they're presented. Cowboy Bebop is a genuine story that is attempting to tell this epic tale of these bounty hunters and the rivalry between Spike and Vicious and everything. All of that jazz. All the shit that comes to be over Julia. But then you have Panty and Stocking, and it's literally just stupid fun. And yeah, you don't have to like say everything about it is good because of that. You can criticize things still. There are episodes and segments of Panty and Stocking that just aren't good. They're not entertaining. They're not fun. They're not, and that's my opinion, of course, but still. And the same goes with Cocaine Bear. If there's certain things that just didn't gel with you, that's fine. But don't judge it as if it's like an actual serious movie that's trying. Because it's not. It's very clearly not. Judge it for what it is. And that is a satire at best. And just most simply, an absolutely stupid fun movie. That's what this movie is. It is stupid as fuck, but it is also really fun. It's entertaining. It's funny. And it's like, it just enjoy it. Just have fun with it. Critics take things way too seriously, and they actively search out for things to bitch about, for things to critique. Because they have this weird idea that they have to be as thorough as possible, as intensely judgmental as possible, to be taken seriously as a critic. And that's why I don't take any critics seriously. I like the reviewers and stuff who just share their genuine thoughts, and they're just like, this is just what I thought of the movie, and man, it's like, it's not that deep. Jeremy Jahns is a great example of that. He's not by any means a critic. He is a reviewer. He does not go into these movies critiquing them. He goes into these movies to enjoy the movies. And then he just shares his thoughts. And his thoughts are usually just very simple, very basic, and very personal. It's just like he just shares what he thinks. Jeremy Jahns is honestly one of the best reviewers, in my opinion, because of that. Even when I've disagreed with him on some things. It's just, I like the way he reviews. So, yeah. Um, this movie was fun. It was stupid, but it was fun. I enjoyed it. I was laughing along with it. I was joking around with it. It's a good time. Is it the best movie I've seen? No. Like obviously, like ranking it with the other movies I've reacted to this year, or just movies in general I've seen recently, it's like no, it's not going to be the best, just by a general scale. But I still enjoyed it, and I'm still going to judge it on its own merits as well, because that's what it deserves. Every movie, every piece of media deserves to be judged on their own merits. You can make a list of movies you've seen over the year and rank them as you want, but just because some movies are better than or are higher on that list than others doesn't mean that you don't enjoy the movies lower for what they are. And this isn't even that much lower on my list, most likely. I do want to see if other reactors have reacted to this, though. Probably have. I think I could enjoy Blind Wave if they've done this, or if they do it in the future. I think they would be good for reacting to this. Either way, tell me in the comments, what did you think of Cocaine Bear? And for now, I'm Connie and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.